everyone. Christian's one of those people that was insanely popular back in the day, not that long ago, for all the wrong reasons. But as of recent, she sort of died off, not died off, but not as popular, because she doesn't want to post online as much as before. And plus, the fan base sort of, turning on her for being a bit too raunchy and groovy with her own mom, her 79-year-old rotting mom. I'm not kidding. When that news came out, it was legitimately, shell shock, where you felt like pause, were like, okay, Christian, this funny little character that we always laughed at for years, she had a fucked up life, but we would never imagine it would border on the line of incest with her own mom, with someone, that old as well, and so mentally unstable. She shouldn't have stayed in her own home. She should have gone to a care home, somewhere to be treated, nicely and cared for, not just with Christian and that hoarder of a home. So you had that one part that was insane to believe, and then you saw the news and footage of Christian being arrested by the police and taken to jail. That was just crazy. Not on the part that you couldn't ever see Christian being arrested, she definitely could, but it was most of that, it was one of those things where you're like jokingly being like, there's no way she would be arrested, and then she did, and you're laughing your ass off, because it's her being arrested, and for the worst reason ever. And that was insane to believe by itself. Well, along with the video of her, or the live stream, of her being arrested, being recorded by her actual fans or trolls from a distance, as actually they watch the police go into her hotel room, handcuff her, and escort her to a police car, all the while yelling at trolls in distance, as if that was the biggest concern right at that moment. But now I come bearing with good news, because that live stream from so many years ago, back in 2021, has now evolved to the police bodycam footage being released to the public for everyone to see. Not just how the police talked with her, but also the stuff that she was telling the police. I've seen the video already, just pure Christian magic moment that makes no sense, and seeing normal people that to interact with her is actual pure comedy. The footage was recently uploaded by Explore With Us. You have the full video right there. I highly recommend it because it is funny. But I just want to go over the few key parts that legitimately you could never imagine her saying, but she does to the police. And it's so funny that even in this moment of her getting arrested, she never drops, well, it's not an act, but she never drops that magic, character of her always being, just bomb fucking insane. Oh my god, it has 1.2 million views in just one day. My god. The video starts off with some context of how the police, they have a warrant and they're doing a routine, having to go to a hotel and pick her up and, take her back to the station. And this was around the investigation of Christian being incestual with her mom, after people sent the police screenshots and recorded, phone calls between Christian and another friend on Kiwi Farms of, the stuff that she did to her own mom. Quoting, I won't get into all of it, but she quoted, getting it on 3 times a week. I haven't seen all of the stuff, the real depth of it, because I don't really care to, but just so you know, it was severe enough for the police to get a warrant on her and go and arrest her and start this whole investigation. So of course, they go to her hotel room, she opens the door, she struggles opening it with the lock, and then the police, handcuff her immediately, telling her to not fight back. And to be fair, with most contexts that people know, they know that Christian is very violent. There would never be a moment where she would kick off a fight. But imagine for being in the shoes of these police officers and seeing this character open the door and reveal themselves. You have every right to believe that this case wouldn't be your typical arrest. And it doesn't stop there, God no. The second they enter the room, it's an asylum. First, I have no idea how long Christian has been staying in that room, but already it's fucking trash, full of, just rubbish and awful shit, treating it like her own holding home back, at the house. I mean, that isn't that surprising. That is, a well-known feature or characteristic of her, just always keeping shit. And then the police go on to ask her the normal questions like, is there anyone else in the room? And immediately she starts with the interdimensional stuff, characters, the planes of reality, different universes. And of course, everyone's favorite characters what does he say?
Magichan, Grizel, Savannah.
Magichan, Grizel, Savannah. All of these names that, unless you watch the 60-part documentary by Gino Samuel, that was him, by that guy, you would have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Is there anybody else in the room?
Spirit, well, interdimensionally, you can't tangibly see them.
A physical person. Is there a physical person in the room with you?
Originating from this universe? No.
Okay, good.
By the way, if any of y'all has been feeling a punch-like sensation on your leg, that is my husband, Magic Chan Sonichu, right on the opposite side of the universe field. He's punching you all each, just a gentle punch, but you know he is here.
Okay.
Did you feel it? He punched you first.
Yeah, so I didn't, but you know.
Punch him harder, hubby.
Yeah. There you go.
And that's when I realized that these guys, these police officers, instead of being like butt fucking insane and tasing her 10 times, I realized that they're very kind to her and being very understanding, which of course isn't bad, because you have to remember at this point of this case, the allegations of her, doing that stuff to her mom is still being investigated, so they can't, treat her like an actual criminal just yet. But if it wasn't for the evidence, I feel like her spouting all this bullshit about like different characters like Sonichu, Pikachu and Sonic together, that would make these guys go actually insane. Like just imagine for a second if these officers or anyone else, like a 60-year-old guy, like a veteran, he would actually be so paranoid from this, he would actually put his gun on her. Or at least tell her to shut up, because he can't bear hearing about Magic-chan, Crizel, and interdimensions. Okay, so at this point, you have this very wacky interaction going on in this hotel room, but in off a distance, the trolls and fans start gathering. How they found the hotel room and how they knew the police would get there, I have no idea. But this is where the stream originates from, and them recording it, because they realized like, oh shit, this is part of the Chris Chan history of getting arrested. So they have to get it on camera. But if you know anything about police, you know that they're very worried about this kind of stuff of people, at a distance recording them. Even though like they don't really mind it, but if they know it's someone at a distance that they don't know who they are and they're staying there for quite a while, because this went on. I mean, the video's like 20 minutes long, but in reality, they probably stayed there more, such in the hotel room. But all the while, those guys were still there, waiting for Christian to step out.
I kind of want to have you go up there and see what they're doing, like not as a fourth person. I mean, I want to go address them, but at the same time, they can kind of do that, but they're not obstructing at this point. I'm listening to you.
And these officers, they're wondering why. Because you have to remember, these guys, they have no idea who the fuck Chris Chan is. The mere name would make them, be like, what? Chris Chan? How do you spell that? Also, I want to say now, it's fucking hilarious, like listening to this guy, this narrator, some 50-year-old guy, try to explain and give credence to the idea of Sonichu.
Magic-chan Sonichu, a blend of the characters Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog, is a character from Chris's hand-drawn graphic novel series.
Sonichu is a blend of Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog blend together as part of Chris Chan's original story. So the video keeps going, the officers keep searching. At one point she farts like a pig, and then they explain the idea of, most stuff that she has on her won't be allowed with her in jail. Like she'll have to hand it over when she gets to the station. And she explains, one example the guy brings up is like a religious cross, like a necklace. And her example that could apply to her is a Sonichu medallion, that crusty, don't look at pictures, the crusty clay model she had for like 20 years, I believe, still rotting on her neck. That was an example of a religious cross, like a necklace, that she can't take off, because in her own words, I'm not making this shit up, it protects her and she cannot take it off, because if she does, there'll be grave consequences. This goes back to what I was saying about the average person could not comprehend or interact with Christian, because unless they have a background of a history and a mental condition, they have no idea what he's saying at all. I mean, what would you interpret from the Sonichu medallion? Would you really believe it's like a great part of Christian history and that it's a very important part of her? No, you just believe like it's an act made by a schizophrenic person that will not let go of it, even while being arrested. And again, I have to mention, these guys, God bless them, they've been very kind, very patient and understanding with her, regardless of the weird stuff he's saying to them and the substantial awful evidence against her, making her seem like a disgusting person. I wish this next part, the part of them escorting her to the police car, would be the last insane moment. It isn't, but just watch for a second. But then you have the guys at distance, the trolls, finally go up to her, because now they finally see her being arrested, and they want to get a closer look. And that's where you hear them being like, oh my god, Christian, yeah, how's it going? And she's like, oh my goddamn trolls, leave me alone. All the while the police is like, what the fuck is going on? Because to them, they don't know who she is. They have no idea why, she would warrant having a crowd of people waiting for her, being arrested, and being live streamed as well. To them, all they know about her from the evidence they were given to them by the station was that she was being sexual and raped her mom. why would that warrant a group of people recording her and cheering for her? One thing that does piss me off about this delusional Christian is that the police ask her why she's being recorded, and her response is, oh, they're blowing us out of the water, as if the deal for raping her own mom isn't that big of a deal and shouldn't be treated this seriously. Which is why, if I was one of these officers, I wouldn't be that happy, interacting with Christian because of that stuff. But these guys, again, God bless them, they're having fun. They understand like how insane this is, and they're going along with it because it's so absurd. They're enjoying it almost. And again, not to mention, from their perspective, why would 3,000 people want to watch a live stream of a incestual rapist being arrested? But as in the video, you have 4 minutes left, and those 4 minutes is the worst, part of the video, because as they're driving to the police station, these poor guys, they're locked in a fucking tin car. She listens to a dumb bullshit, saying stuff like, I'm literally a goddess, and spending a good, what might feel like 10 minutes of her explaining her interdimension theory, and how these officers, they might meet their own superheroes from comics, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. They're all coming to this universe.
We are on the completion of the dimension merge, where the universe half that was divided in 1380s by order of King Arthur. You have everybody there. You have Superman, you have Mickey Mouse, you have Iron Man, you have Darkwing Duck, you have, the Infinite Possibilities. You even have Ratchet and Clank. You have the Super Mario Brothers. Who is your favorite superhero?
I'd probably go with Spider-Man.
He's gonna come around. You're gonna meet him.
Alright, I can't wait.
That single arrest warrants having an American flag put on their coffins. But yeah, that was the whole bodycam footage. When I first heard about this, the whole video, the headline of 2021 bodycam footage released today of Christian being arrested, I would have no idea it would be, this like mind-fuckingly insane of her saying like all this stuff to these police officers, having her in handcuffs. I mean, this is one of the situations where the prediction in your head is way more batshit crazy than what actually happened. I'm glad I did see it because, it's a good part of Christian history, and eventually that guy, Gino Samuel, once the story of Christian finally comes to a close, this will be like a good video to be part of the history, where in this grave moment of her being arrested, I mean, she was, for context, she was like released after the trial. I have no idea, because it was clear, she raped her own mom. But I guess in the court of Alabama, where she is right now, where she lived, they didn't see that bad, and they just released her with nothing, no jail, no sentence. But my point being that at that time, when she was being arrested, it did seem like, the story of Christian would end there. She'd go to prison for a long time and never come back to the internet. Or if she did, it would be so long ago that people wouldn't care that much about Christian in general anymore. But, thankfully, she's still up there, she's still out in the public, making her own stuff. You can see her on Twitter. So maybe the finale of Christian will take a bit longer, to finish than it is right now. Part of me was hoping that it'd end when, she's being arrested, because, right now, there's some batshit crazy person that raped their own mom out in public, living by themselves. But I feel like now that she's living by herself, because her mom died last year during summer, she might, the odds of her getting arrested again is way higher because she's by herself and she has no professional care. That leaves her way more open to do some more dumb shit or have more stuff come out about her that people could send to the police and have her arrested again. Potentially getting an actual jail sentence the next time, maybe, just maybe.